Hi, I'm Vittorio Huber, author of Ask Your Dreams, and this is my friend Jim Vargas, and he's going to share an experience he had of a dream that he once had.
I got into this a little bit and keeping a little journal just for kicks and grins. And I always have wanted to have a flying dream because I thought it would be more like an out of body experience, the closest thing to out of body experience. So I tried to incubate a dream a few times and eventually had to give up. Nothing would happen. However, like most things, you let it go. And it occurred. And I was sitting there and dreaming one night, and I was out there on the football field. Our Buccaneers are having a family day, and in my dream, I was standing there with the players, and one of the players, I looked over and I recognized him immediately. He's one of the biggest, bulkiest, had a good workout ethic. He had pushing Jeeps up hills and stuff like that. And I just thought, wow, I like this. I says, hey man, you know what? I can fly. He says, oh, come on, man, not. And I says, yeah. He says, let me see. So in my dream, I immediately took off and started soaring around the stadium. Felt a little comfortable, and I flew across El Mabry Highway. And as I was coming back towards the stadium, I started getting a little unstable, seeing power lines and everything. So I started freaking out, but I was able to gain control and land right next to him again. And when I landed, I said, look, see? He said, dude, that was cool. I can't believe you did that, you know? And it was just a dream, but I often wondered, in our journal, we'd write the dreams down. And a few days later, a week later, a month later, you mull the dream over. And I never did that. I stopped at that point. I never got an understanding what the dream was about, really.
Well, you told me about this dream before, and you know the technique that I use, that what if you're everything in the dream. And I love this dream because I think it has a universal message. Your dreams are crafted specifically for you, but all of us are part of each other. We're one energy. And where I think that ties into everybody in the dream is what I said is that I think the big football player, and I know who you were talking about. The guy was an amazing stud. He was awesome. He was one of the best fullbacks ever, and everybody revered this guy and looked up to him. He was like a superhero.
Yes, you were.
And I think that if you're everything in the dream, that you're seeing that within yourself. Like internally, my belief is that we're all of the same energy. We're an energy source, God, whatever you want to call it, and it's within all of us. And we have more abilities and skills than we think that we have, and we're just not accessing it. And you looking up to him was seeing that in yourself. And when you told him, I can fly, you're proving it to yourself. And in real life, Jim, you can fly a plane. And I think that's a part of the dream too, is that you do have skills that he doesn't have, right? And everybody also has their unique contribution. And I think you are proving it to yourself and to him, somebody that you looked up to, but you're everything in the dream. And when you were flying around and you were having the experience, you were gaining confidence. You know you can do that. But something that I thought was interesting about the dream is you told me when you were on your way back that you were calculating like not to hit the power lines. You were making sure that you didn't hit the power lines. And I think that has to do with something that's in all the human psyche, is that we're afraid of our light. Most souls are afraid of their power that they truly have, and he represents that to you, I believe. And that was what you were afraid of in coming back. And oftentimes too, we do go to the light, but then we go back to where we feel comfortable. And I think there was that metaphor in there too. But it represents all of those things. And how you call it incubation, how you incubated the dream. I say whatever you focus on expands. I tell people, ask to dream about what you want to dream about before you go to bed, even for a few moments, and you will. But also your dream, you let it go. You said you stopped doing that, and then all of a sudden you had the dream about it. Well, I think there's something to be said for that too, like allowing it, letting it go. But you did the work in asking already, so you then had the dream. And I think the biggest message in that what's inside of the heart of this dream is that we all have super magical capabilities. We do within us. We're light. We're part of God and the energy source. And that's what we are. people make things so much more than them outside of themselves, but really within you, you're just big as all of it because you're connected to it. And I think that's what the dream represents as a whole, and what other people will get out of it too. Because I've heard similar things in different scenarios about people dreaming about stuff that I think means the same thing or something similar.
Well, that's very interesting. Hey, it sounds good. I really like it. I'm gonna have to rethink that dream and mull that over. And I appreciate you shedding some light on it.
You're welcome.